What is an often overlooked search bait when you're looking for fish? A search bait. We know a spinnerbait and a crankbait's good ones. You move them fast. What's often overlooked, but still good? Good morning, guys and girls. May 23, we're looking at 1 Timothy 6:6. 1 Timothy 6:6 says, godliness with contentment is great gain. So godliness, we all want to be godly type people. Godliness with contentment means that we're satisfied with whomever we are and whatever we have. Here's what I wrote about that in our Catch a Better Life book. We have changed the name of this channel to Catch a Better Life channel. It was the Catch of the Day channel. A lot of people are getting on this channel right now. We got about 20,000 people on here. A lot of them are just now getting on. It kind of confuses them, Catch of the Day and Catch a Better Life. This is a devotional book that I wrote. Took me a couple years to write it. My original devotional, daily devotional, was Catch of the Day. So that'll explain that. But anyway, if you're not subscribed to this channel, go in there and subscribe right now. Be sure, and share this with all your friends. We need to grow this channel up to about 1 million. Wouldn't that be something? All right, godliness with contentment is great gain. Here's what I wrote about that. We are asked a lot about trailers on spinnerbaits. We're talking about soft plastic and pork, adding something back to the back end of a spinnerbait, some sort of soft plastic, or adding pork to it. I prefer fishing a spinnerbait without a trailer hook. Well, there's without one. We call it fishing it naked. Fishing a trailer hook without a trailer, because the trailer will hurt anybody's casting accuracy with this bait. In other words, when you put a trailer on there, you're going to sacrifice some casting accuracy. We got to be content to trade accuracy for more hookups sometimes. My key to adding trailers, in other words, my little rule of thumb to adding trailers is this: if I start missing fish, I add a trailer. Normally, a little simple twin-tail trailer in white or chartreuse will solve that problem. In other words, if you're having fish coming up and hitting that bait but missed it, you're not getting a hookup, that's when you need to add a trailer. That's when you need to add it. Being content with your fishing lure is often more difficult than being content in life. A lot of times, it's a lot harder to be content in life than it is with whatever fishing bait we're using. Today's verse, Paul, Timothy, by the way, was a young preacher, a young minister that Paul was mentor to, and he was trying to teach him how to live the right kind of life for a young preacher. Paul was reminding Timothy to be content, Timothy, with what you have. Be content with whatever he had. All that he really needed was food and clothing. That's all he needed. He had Jesus. He didn't need anything else, food and clothing. Most of us right here in America today take food and clothing for granted. We don't even kind of hardly think of that as a necessity of life. We just take it for granted. And we're not happy unless we have whatever else our hearts desire. Unless we have whatever else our hearts desire. Lots of us have lots of stuff. These desires can lead into destruction. These desires to have more than we have can lead into destruction. I believe that it's imperative. I believe that it's very, very imperative to be content and to please God and to be the kind of people that God wants us to be. I think we need to be content with what we have. I think we need to be content with who we are. We need to be happy in our own skin. We need to be comfortable in our own skin, like the old commercials used to have on there. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father and grandfather. I want to be a better person to my friends and to my sponsors and just the people I meet day by day that I don't even know. I want to be a better person. So I'm always striving to be better, but I'm very, very, comfortable in my own skin. I'm very, very happy with where we are right now. And I think that when you are that way, you please God. And can I tell you what God will do? He will give you your heart's desire. It says right here that godliness with contentment is great gain. That means when you have godliness with contentment, God's going to bless. God's going to bless. You'll have great gain. Here's our tip for today: Ned rigs. Ned rigs, which are small jig and worms. We've been fishing them since we was teenagers. Ned rigs work well as a search bait because they cover water pretty quickly. Now, you don't really think, and you kind of overlook that as a search bait. A search bait is one we want to go use to locate the fish, one we want to be able to cover a lot of water with, want to be able to go into a pocket, fish it pretty fast and find out if there's any fish in there or not. And you can do it with a Ned rig. I have a grandson, Lightning, that's his favorite bait. You know, a turd jig, he calls it. We use those little shroom heads we can buy at Bass Pro Shop, but he those turd jigs, but he swims them most of the time. He doesn't fish them down on the bottom. He doesn't drag them on the bottom. He doesn't pump them up and down. He doesn't do much of that, hardly ever. Most of the time, he throws them out there. He uses 20-pound test high seas braided line on a spinning reel, and he uses a little, usually a 8 or 10 pound test of high seas fluorocarbon as a leader, and he just swims those things back to the boat. Now he may swim a little bit, stop them, drop a little bit, swim, drop a little bit, get them down a little bit deeper, but he mostly just swims them. So a Ned rig, don't overlook that as a search bait to be able to locate bass. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. Be content with whatever you have, whomever you are. God will make things better for you, and he'll give you more stuff. I'm telling you, he will. And by the way, I sure do love you.